Sheikh Hamdan broke up with Sheikha bint Saeed over the phone. It isn't fair to you. Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed might have eventually had their happily ever after, but it didn't come without its set of struggles. Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed have been together since, though things did fall apart a few times. In the couple's more infamous breakup happened when Sheikh Hamdan dumped Sheikha bint Saeed over the phone. Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed split briefly in. When Sheikh Hamdan first saw Sheikha bint Saeed walking in a fashion show, he realized that she was the one for him. The two had been good friends for a while before that, but the show was the one thing that changed the way Sheikh Hamdan saw his future wife. For a while, things went smoothly, but still Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed were young, and he reportedly had a bit of wandering eye, though there is no evidence he ever stepped out on Sheikha bint Saeed. Eventually he broke things off with her. It is unclear exactly how long the split lasted, but it was brief and most people forgot it ever happening. Sheikh Hamdan's poor behavior caused attention a few years later. Things were going well for the two for a while. They graduated college and they were so much in love. But only a couple of years later, emotional distance started to set in. Sheikh Hamdan was stationed several hours away from Sheikha bint Saeed for military-related work, and the distance put a strain on the relationship. Plus, over winter break in late, Sheikh Hamdan pulled out of plans to spend the holidays with Sheikha bint Saeed family at the last minute, and it was clear even then that the cracks were beginning to show. Sheikh Hamdan reportedly spent many nights out drinking while away from Sheikha bint Saeed, and he was once photographed with his hand on another woman's breast. It was the breaking point for both of them, and within about a week, Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed had broken up. The prince dumped Sheikha bint Saeed over the phone. There is hardly anything worse than getting broke up with over the phone. Whether it's a text message or a phone call, any meaningful relationship should end face to face. But with Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha bint Saeed so far apart, it wasn't exactly easy for them to see each other. And with that, Sheikh Hamdan picked up the phone one day in spring and dumped his girlfriend of 5 years. Sheikha bint Saeed, who was at work when Sheikh Hamdan called, excused herself to talk to him. "Oh, I can't. It just isn't going to work. It isn't fair to you," Sheikh Hamdan reportedly said after having a long conversation with his father about not being able to ready to commit to a relationship. Sources say King advised Sheikh Hamdan not to make the same mistake he did by marrying when he was not certain about it, and from here the two were officially single. He regretted his decision almost immediately. It didn't take long for Sheikh Hamdan to realize that he never actually wants to lose Sheikha bint Saeed. The distance plus Sheikh still only being 24 were reasons enough to think he wasn't ready to take the next step with her, but ultimately spending 4 months away from Sheikha bint Saeed was the most he could take. Sources close to the two say they still talk now and then while they were apart, which meant Sheikh Hamdan probably never handled their split well. By July, he had won her back, and this time he was serious about her. Sheikh Hamdan proposed to Sheikha bint Saeed 3 years later, and the two wed in a ceremony watched by millions.